You're not good enough, you're failing, you're falling behind, you'll never get it together. Do these words sound familiar? If your inner critic is loud and relentless, you're not alone and you're in the right place. What if I told you that there's a simple practice to quieten that inner voice without having to fight it, without having to get rid of it? Hi, I'm Simone, and if you've ever been caught up in that spiral of self-doubt, then you're in the right place. As a solo mum and someone who's rebuilt my life after burnout, I know what it's like to be dragged down by that inner voice, that inner critic, telling me I'm not good enough, I'm not doing enough, that I'm too far behind. But here's the truth, I am enough and you are enough. And today I'll be sharing a powerful acceptance and commitment therapy practice to help you unhook from that inner critic, that inner voice. What is that inner critic? Well, it's that inner voice, sometimes really loud, sometimes it's a whisper. It's that voice that we hear in our heads that offers us judgments, comparisons, fears, that tells us all sorts of things. And it's normal. It's not you. It is a part of your mind that is keeping you safe, that's trying to protect you. In this video, I want to talk about how we can work with that inner critic. So when we fuse with those thoughts, with our inner critic, when we believe them as truth, we shrink, we play small, we avoid, we withdraw, we overwork, we think if we just work a little bit harder, then maybe we'll feel enough. So here's the shift. We don't need to get rid of that inner critic. We don't need to push that inner critic away. We just need to notice it, to name it, and to unhook from it. So step one is diffusion, and that is this unhooking from that thought, from our inner critic. This is an important acceptance and commitment therapy tool and skill where we learn to notice the thought without getting tangled in it or hooked by the thought. So let's try it. Let's take a breath. And I've got my friend Cookie who's decided to join me. So think of a common inner critic thought that you hear. It might be, I'm not good enough, or I'm not doing enough, or I always mess it up, or I'm failing, I'm going to fail my exam, or I'm not going to get the job. Just think of an inner critic thought that you have. And instead of getting caught up in that thought, try saying, I'm noticing that. So I'm noticing the thought that I'm not good enough. I'm noticing the thought that I'm lazy. I'm noticing the thought that I'm going to fail the exam, or I'm noticing the thought that I'm so far behind. So can you feel the difference? It's a small shift, but what we're doing is creating space between that thought and ourselves. We're creating space between you and the thought. And we're becoming the observer rather than the thought itself. So this is called diffusion, and it's a key part of acceptance and commitment therapy. It's like putting the thought on a leaf and watching it go down the stream, or perhaps a thought on a cloud and watching it go, it moves past. So we're not the cloud, we're not the leaf on the stream, okay? We're the observer of that leaf down the stream. We're the observer of the cloud moving in the sky. And it's the same with our thoughts. We are the thinker of our thoughts, but we're not the thought. So now let's get grounded and let's use another acceptance and commitment therapy technique called dropping anchor. It's a really simple 3-step technique that helps us to notice our thoughts and feelings, to come back into our bodies, and to also engage in the environment around us. So let's do it together, where A is acknowledging thoughts, feelings, and sensations. C is coming back into our body, so making some gentle movements to really tune into our body. And E is engaging with the world around us. So let's get started. So just taking a moment to acknowledge and notice any thoughts that your inner critic might be having. So an inner critic thought could be, I'm not good enough. And so in A, in acknowledge, we're noticing that thought. Or I'm noticing I'm having the thought that I'm not good enough. I'm noticing that I'm having the thought that I'm not good enough. Now come back into your body to make some gentle movements. So perhaps stretching out the hands in front, perhaps just gently moving the head and neck, or rolling the shoulders, or perhaps lifting the heels off the ground. Noticing your breath. Then we're going to engage in what we're doing, engage in the world around us. So noticing things you see, noticing what you can hear, what you can taste, smell, touch, what you can touch in front of you. Feeling the air on your skin. Just coming back into the environment you're in. And just like that, you're here. You're not in a battle with your thoughts. You're not in a battle with your inner critic. You're not trying to get rid of that inner critic thought, but you're anchored in the moment. So remember this, when we practice this, diffusing the thought, we remember that we're not our thoughts. So you are not your thoughts. You are the one noticing your thoughts. And when you diffuse from that inner critic, from that inner voice, and you can drop an anchor to take it a little deeper, you create that space to choose. That space to choose from a place of groundedness, of being present, rather than a space where you're hooked by that thought and fused with that thought. So that thought is you. And I'll be talking a bit more about this in future videos, but when we become fused with that thought, it causes us to act and behave in particular ways. But when we can defuse from that thought, we can act from a different place, from a place that is more compassionate, where there's less judgment, and where we're more present rather than panicked, where we can act instead of avoid. So if you struggle with your inner critic, you need to watch the next video, where I'm going to be diving deeper into what the inner critic is, where it comes from, and additional practices to help us work with that inner critic instead of get hooked by those thoughts and get hooked by the inner critic. If you want more tools just like this to calm the chaos and to create more peace and space in your life, please do hit subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. And I always love hearing from you. Please leave me a comment to let me know how you found this video, how you found the practices and techniques, and I'll keep making more videos like this. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.